Empress K, and I am here to interview the wonderful, the beautiful Miss Mama G.
Oh, an honor to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. So let's start here. If you will, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
The backstory, as they say.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I am I guess you could say I was the only child. I was the only grandchild. I was the only great-grandchild. I got away with murder. So, so these are the things that if it was something that I wanted, you might be able to see a picture up there, I always got it. That's just how that was. I went to a Catholic school, all girls, for 12 years. I was the first black there at the school, Society Academy. From there, I went to the University of Pennsylvania, and I also had joined the Black Panthers during that time. So that was Ivy League Black Panthers. From there, Antioch University, Human Services, wonderful life, wonderful grandmother who encouraged academics. And then I was blessed to be able to go overseas. And my PhD is in behavioral sciences and urban anthropology. Yes, ma'am.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for that. So let me ask you, what are some of the goals that you may have set, I guess that you have not already accomplished in everything that you're doing right now?
Goals. I honestly feel that in regard to legacy, that is a continual avenue or journey for myself. So I have reached the ability to be able to see my second generation students, not just first, but second generation students, continue with the knowledge that I was blessed to give them. Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. Thank you for that. Let me ask you, what are some of your influences? What are maybe some of your influences and inspirations in all that you do?
Inspirations. Okay. My grandmother, Marie Mornair. My birth name is Dr. Germon Marie Miller-Bey. Imagine me in first grade trying to spell that. So in my family, the way they would keep our legacy going is they would just use the same names over and over again. So I have 9 names on my birth certificate. And they were for all my aunts and my grandmother, and that's how we knew who was born when. So my inspiration is definitely her.
Awesome. So with that being said, I definitely want to just glide on into more of your purpose and all that you are.
Thank you. Thank you.
So when it comes to what you do with regards to the martial arts, what image comes to mind for most people when they think what a martial artist should look like?
Oh, without a doubt. If you say martial arts to somebody, they're going to think of a Caucasian or an Asian man in a white gi with a black belt. So very, very seldom would they imagine a woman of color being a grandmaster in a fighting system. So I get a kick out of that one. Yeah.
I can see why you would say that. I know for me growing up, a lot of the martial arts movies.
Yes.
That's the
Yes.
what they stuck with. You know?
That's what they stuck with.
Asian males, so yeah,
That's it. Yes,
so,
ma'am.
so with that, so what is the difference between martial arts and martial sciences?
Well, I do martial sciences. A martial art is the same thing as with dancing. You dance or you sing, you present the combat system. But martial science is like mathematics. Here you develop research. You have the application of the punch. You have the application of that kick, not just showing. That's the difference. It's the science behind it. Yes, ma'am.
Now, will you be showing us some of your kicks? a little later?
I am going to demonstrate how most people can pick up martial sciences in less than 30 seconds.
Wow.
I can teach something in 30 seconds or less that everyone in the martial sciences will be able to pick up.
Well, I'm personally looking forward to that. I don't know about you all, but I am most certainly looking forward to that. So we will definitely get to that a little later on. So just to continue with the questions that we'd like to ask you here today, where did the martial systems originate?
Thank goodness the 21st century came with the internet, because the problem is that a lot of people are not aware that the African combat systems were the progenitor, the originators of every fighting system out there. The fighting systems go from Africa into India. Hannibal, by the way, did not use African elephants. He used Indian elephants. Then from the continent of India, it goes into China. We must look at the fact that Japan is only 900 years old. So it didn't originate there. It originated in Africa. And when we get maybe to another quick question, I'm going to demonstrate just how much it is. Okay, yes, ma'am.
Awesome. So with that, let me also ask, is the media accurate with the martial systems? Also, well, with that, such as with Black Panther?
Right now they are.
Okay.
If it wasn't for Black Panther, a lot of the historical documents in relation to the combat systems, prior to that was only the series Shaka Zulu, which was not done in America. It was done in Britain, in England. And here you had an incredible Black warrior, an emperor. He really was an emperor, like you're an empress. And he pushed out the British Empire in South Africa. Now, what we're looking at is, okay, let's see how much we can say. This is Queen Hatshepsut. And a lot of people aren't familiar with Queen Hatshepsut because she wasn't a queen, she was a pharaoh. She was also the princess that pulled Moses out of the water. People, it's the image, and in a second I'm going to share a little bit more of this. This is Queen Nzinga. It's the image. This is why it's essential that the media bring forth knowledge, not just the written word, but also in the visual word. Ya'a Asatwa, she was a grandmother who fought. So again, this is Women's History Month. This is the last day. So imagine a little girl seeing a strong Black woman with taking care of her people. All right? Now, these great posters here, and I'm going to do a little, what do you say, I'm just going to put them here, and I'm going to put them here, and I'm going to keep going, because there are almost 29 of these posters. People don't realize that these posters were made in 1980. These Black history posters. And who made them? Remember you just asked me? Media? Budweiser. Budweiser made these posters in 1980 for Black history. Then they went away. Image is everything. What you see is children what? They don't always listen to what you say, isn't that true?
Right.
But they listen and visualize what you do. So I just wanted to bring that out. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much for that. And you are right when it comes to children not listening. My 3-year-old, that's another story. So thank you so much for that.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Also, what is the difference between self-defense and self-preservation?
All right. One of the things, and I've been blessed to move forward with the African discipline science, I developed a complete fighting system, the HYLO Discipline Sciences, a woman, put it together. Because the last thing I want is somebody to lay hands on me. Then you have to do self-defense. Once somebody has touched you, you're in a hole. Well, self-preservation is perceiving the enemy before the attack, before they touch you. And sometimes we don't view our surroundings, and then it's too late. Sometimes when we as women, we go to the mall and we walk out and it's dark. That's not the best thing to do, because then you have to use your self-defense if something happens. You have to fight back. But if you observe ahead of time, you won't have that problem, because that puts a hold on it. I do not, if I don't feel comfortable, I don't get on an elevator with somebody. I don't care who it is.
Right.
I'm just not going to do it. And some people say, well, that's being uppity. No, it's not. That's self-preservation. That's a difference.
And I can definitely understand and feel you there, Mama G, because one of the things I love to do when I walk into any room is look, listen, that way I can learn. So you definitely do have to be aware. So thank you so much for that.
Yes, ma'am.
Lastly, what is your opinion of domestic violence, especially to the media?
All right. I guess I don't look like it now, but I was a domestic survivor. I spent 6 weeks in intensive care, picked the wrong person in my early life. Was a violent person. Homeless, had to run away with 2 children, live on the subways in Philadelphia. Very dramatic. But then I had to find somebody who would teach me how to survive. One of the things, if we look, everybody knows who Bruce is. Everybody knows Bruce Lee. There's only one woman in this book, and that's me. I'm the only one. And why is that? Because I learned that if I don't take care of myself, if I don't find self-preservation for me and my children, then no one else is going to do this for me. And a lot of times, the hardest thing is to walk away from a situation. Very, very difficult. So, yes, I went out and competed for many years. I've competed all over the world. I have 4,900 wins. But that's not the important thing. The important thing is that I feel comfortable in my own body. I even brought, how many people, did you see Black Panther?
Did I?
I don't know now.
I did.
All right, who had this? See, I'm gonna get a host of it. See, this is self-preservation. Were you observant as to who carried this? And kind of, sort of?
Kind of, sort of.
This is a shuriken. This is a East Indian weapon, and the Black Panther sisters had this. So this was in the movie. That's why the movie was so incredible, because it had authentic items. Mine is 35 years old. So it was really there. This is the Dahomey female weapon. I love weapons. I like them. I'm an anthropologist. The Dahomey female warriors were the ones who were depicted in the Black Panther. That's who they were. They used to hang up and down in the trees and cut off the head. Yeah, see? This is history. Scary, but fact. And then, of course, the daggers, the kemet, what we refer to as Egypt. Yeah, it's kind of hard with one hand. Thank you. And this is what we call a live weapon. So, domestic violence. Right now we have community violence. And it's so serious right now because people are using guns. Guns. We don't settle our differences with communication. We settle with violence. Yes, I've been there. I will say this. When a person makes the decision to be violent, there are consequences. I had to defend a young woman one time, and there were consequences. 4778966, and that's not a social. So you make the decision not to have to do self-defense. You make the decision for self-preservation. Perceive the enemy before the attack, before you have to deal with the situation. A lot of our young women now, the internet is the most dangerous thing out there. You don't put your personal information out on the internet because people can find you. Know where you live, know where you work. And unless you have superpowers, you don't have an S plastered on your body, you need to be careful. And that's what do you call that? That's my elder comment.
As the youth would say, that's on period.
Right.
All right. So lastly, if you will, please let everyone know how they can follow you, how they can support you.
Oh.
How can we find you, Mama G?
I do have a Facebook. And I'm quite sure that someone will put my name up from this incredible show. I want to thank everybody for having me here.
Thank you for being here.
I'm not on the Instagram, I'm not on TikTok, but I am on Facebook. And I want to thank so many people for pushing forward the Afrikan Martial Sciences. I am the only woman in the world who's ever done Afrikan Martial Sciences and won at the international level. So this is something we need to get out there. I was the first. I definitely would like to extend my appreciation and thanks to Andrew and Faith for all the support that they've given me over these years. To the martial scientists, my warrior brothers, who taught me, because without their knowledge, I may not be alive today. The City of Columbia has always supported the Kuru and the RICH programs. So I want to thank everybody there. I mean, just countless people. And I was looking at one other quick thing. We always, and right now we're talking about racism. If I can close with this. Racism, prejudice, bigotry. Those are three totally different things. I hate grits. I hate grits from the bottom of my soul. I mean, I really don't like grits. And because this was something that came to me because my aunt couldn't cook grits, I didn't like grits.
Okay.
So as I got older, I taught my children to hate grits, not to like grits. We would walk through the supermarket and say, you see that box? That's a grit. Don't ever eat grits. They went, okay. They got to be teenagers. They hated grits. Never had grits, but they hated it. Until one day I came home and I went, grits. My youngest son had met a young woman here in the South. We were here in the South. She was cooking grits in my good pot in my kitchen. I lost it. He's standing there eating grits. I felt I'm insulted now. And this is what happens a lot of times in our history, in our culture. We pass things down that maybe is a personal thing. We talk about slavery. We did not descend from cotton patches. We descended from kings, queens, scholars, mathematicians, and scientists, and the martial sciences. This is what we need to look at, and to respect each other, that communication. Elders, young adults. It's vital right now. And then on the Facebook, we should put out positive, work together. So that's just kind of, you know, how I see it as somebody who is 68 years old. You know, it's important. I've learned so much from my young adults. I no longer have a flip phone. I have an iPhone. I got a watch. And you should see me on Zoom, right? You know, I'm good. So, but it was the young adults who taught me this. So I'm enjoying this time period, 2021. Yes, ma'am. Do you have any other questions for me? Have I done okay?
You've done a great job.
Okay.
I'm just going to throw this out there at you. What's your favorite movie?
Really?
Really?
You really want to know what my
really
favorite? You really? I don't know if you want to know Mama G's favorite movie. Faith, does she want to know? Tell her? Okay. Okay. Believe it or not, it's Independence Day. And I'll tell you why. Because people of all walks of life and ages had to work together to get rid of the Martians. They had to. I love Will Smith in that movie, which I'm silly, I love Will Smith. The whole idea, it was a woman of the streets who saved the president's wife. We don't look at that. It's an average person who may do the greatest things. I think the guy who flew into the Martian thing, he was an alcoholic. But you never know who's going to save. So that's why I just love Independence Day. I think it makes, if you sit, you haven't watched it in a while, sit and watch it again and watch the characters. Because you won't find them in any other movie. And I think culturally, if you haven't watched Sankofa, are you familiar with Sankofa? Okay, Sankofa was done in the 70s. It's a cultural movie. If you haven't watched it, see if you can get a copy of it. That is a going back to the day, and you'll see our characters in that also. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much for that.
No
Independence Day, I was not expecting that. But at the same time, I didn't really have an expectation.
Yeah,
So,
well, I'm an adult, so I do like horror movies. I like horror movies. You know, the people running, screaming on the monster,
So you like the ones falling too? The ones getting caught?
Oh, listen, you be like, don't go in the basement. Please don't go in the basement.
And they go.
And they go. They go. They really do. So, you know, you have to use what? Self-preservation.
Self-preservation.
I have a 10th degree grandmaster status. Ain't no way I'm going in no dark basement for anything.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm running. If you see a group of people running, you run too.
Yes.
Right.
So with that being said, thank you so much again, Mama G, for joining us and for being here. You stated that you will have someone do a performance for us.
I have a very quick, it won't even, I promise, 30 seconds. So I'm going to kind of put my mic down a little bit, and I'm going to do it just sitting here. No, I don't even think I have to put my mic down. You ever go in a store and you're at the counter and that person, sometimes it's a guy, he's gonna walk right up on you and you're trying to get your money out of your pocketbook and they right up here on your back and they won't back up. And you wanna go, back up, back up. Now, you don't wanna bang on the hand grenade. You don't wanna shake the beehive. You don't wanna do this. Because you punch them like this, they might hit you in the head. So what does Mama G do? And I've done this in several stores. I do this. And they back up. Especially now.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is self-preservation.
That's self-preservation, right. Self-preservation.
Yes.
Okay. I'm terrible. I apologize. I have other things too, but I have children in the audience, so I can't.
All right. So that is a great way to close out Women's History Month. So thank you so much for joining us again today. This is HYLO Art, 600 seconds. Mama G, everybody, can we clap it up?
Oh, thank you.